Hello and welcome to all the Web3 enthusiasts out there. It's Max speaking, and Synopsis is back after another short break we had. And this time we're going to go with a streak of the regular hot content. And I'm more than happy to start this streak with a great guest, the CEO and founder of Zeon, Anthony Anzalone, also known as Banksy. Hi, Anthony. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. We definitely are going on a streak of hot things today.
Yeah, sure. So, as the entire blockchain field is turbulent and very interesting and hot, so will be our streak. So, to begin with, since it's your first time at Synopsis, let's warm up a little bit before we start shooting those questions. Please tell briefly our audience about your nickname, Burn Banksy, where it comes from.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was why I was saying, well, on a hot streak. My name is Burnt Banksy because about 4 years ago, I bought a Banksy art piece. I lit it on fire, sold it as an NFT, which ended up breaking the record for highest NFT sold at the time. And for all of 2021, we were the highest NFT sold on OpenSea.
Well,
Yeah, so Burnt
thank you.
Banksy.
Yeah, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And I believe that at this point, a lot of our viewers came up with even more questions. But so, guys, you'll have a chance maybe to catch Anthony somewhere on the web. And today we'll go through the questions about Xeon mostly. And yeah, there's a lot of things we prepared. So let's begin with the first one. So Xeon is positioned as a walletless blockchain. Could you explain, please, what it means and how assets are stored on Xeon? So does it have anything to do with the abstraction technology?
Absolutely. It has everything to do with abstraction technology. Our goal here is to try to make crypto completely disappear. We believe in the ethos, we believe in the functionality of crypto, but we think that in order to go to the mainstream audience, we need to meet users where they are. And this is where we talk about abstraction. And I think that we're going to look back in 5 years, we're going to look at wallets, and we're going to see that wallets were the largest hurdle to adoption that we've ever seen in our entire kind of history here. And so by removing that, the functionality is absolutely limitless, and the amount of things that we're allowed to do is far, far larger than what we kind of were held back in doing before. And, talk about abstraction, talk about walletless blockchain. I mean, a lot of these are just kind of functionally how we get there. But really, at the end of the day, the only thing that we want are products and products that people want and can use.
Awesome. So it's great to hear that you have plans at least for going as far as 5 years and even beyond. So for sure we'll be tracking your success and hopefully we'll be having some interviews in the middle of that and seeing the progress. So and okay, one more question to know more about the general thing. So. Can you even think if there are any competitors of Xeon? So can you consider
Yeah.
someone?
I really would consider Web 2 to be the main competitor of Zion. I think that we're in an amazing industry of public goods where we're all built on top of each other. And it's impossible to work without everyone. And I think people are going to have their specialties, such as Solana or Sui, and then there's always going to be interoperability, right? Like all the bridging and things like that. And there isn't really a world where there's going to be a winner take all. And we positioned Zion very strategically to kind of accommodate this future where, rising tides raise all boats. And so the thing that we really kind of honestly compete against is Web 2, right? It's the centralized databases, it's the clearing houses, it's the middlemen. And these are the things that we're trying to destroy and kind of take down.
Awesome, thank you. So another block I would like to discuss, and everyone is thinking about regulation, but not so many speakers are ready to speak about it. So I think you are the right person who can address some of these questions. So the next thing
Yeah.
I'd like to know. So Xeon is now compliant with the Title II EU regulations and is the first layer one mainnet to release a markets and crypto assets white paper. What possibilities does it open for Xeon in the EU, and what chains can European customers access using your bridge?
Yeah, absolutely. We are really excited. I mean, I think a lot of this is really the potential of the future. This is the first time in a very long time that we've seen even the slightest bit of regulation. And, you probably know just as well as anyone where a lot of this industry has just kind of been a lot of guesswork. And I think for the first time, we're excited for it to not be guesswork, right? And being compliant and starting the process of, disclosing information and being able to work with, very, very amazing clients. Like, I think probably by the time that this podcast comes out, really interesting example will be like a partner, like our integration of Anchorage, right? Which now allows institutional access really across the world, but being able to now access institutions, especially being compliant in the EU, that opens up so many doors. And I think you've looked at institutions trying to come in, and it's always been this like cat and mouse game of, can I enter into crypto or not because of the regulation? But now that it's getting clear and we have access, now the possibilities are limitless. And, I think the idea that, oh, you're not in crypto until you lose all of your money, that should not be the case. And I'm really, really excited for the future to just have people coming into this industry using the products and not getting rugged.
Yeah, sounds awesome, man. Really exciting, and it's great to hear that finally we came up from some theoretical talks about regulations and compliance to some real, I would say, first steps in this direction, and
Yep.
it's great to hear that. So, and what regions do you focus on going forward? So, could you tell us about your most prominent regional efforts?
Absolutely. It's a great question, actually. This is something that's pretty unique to Zion. We have three major focuses right now, which
Okay.
are Lisbon, given it is the crypto center of Europe. Um, but Nigeria and Argentina are probably the two other ones that are probably more interesting. And a lot of this comes from the fact of what crypto benefits. Crypto, at its very base layer, is payments. It is a global access to a financial economy. And there are places such as Nigeria and such as Argentina where that's not the baseline. I'm calling from New York, where I have an American bank account, and that's something that I'm very fortunate to have. And I think that that needs to be a global standard before we can start making like really pretty things on top of that. And so being able to focus on Nigeria, Argentina, and then kind of growing in areas like that is really, really important to us. And of course, like Southeast Asia, South Korea, like a lot of these places are starting to see a lot more hubs as well, but really kind of starting from effectively where we want the bar to be raised to, and then getting the bar to that point, and then being able to kind of build bells and whistles. But we're not going to reach kind of this economic equality if we don't have everyone there.
Awesome. Thank you. So pretty detailed answer. And could you please tell more about your goals for the 2025?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have been working with so many incredible, incredible partners such as Uber, BMW, and 200 ecosystem projects deploying. We are going to be effectively defining what consumer crypto is. And I think that I'll be able to place that bet on that. When you think consumer crypto, you're going to think of Zion. And I don't think we've seen it yet. I think we've seen attempts at decentralized social, and we've seen attempts at these things, but you've had so much friction where the network aspect of a social network hasn't been able to be met. And you see this in Fintech where you have this amazing rise and then this super sharp fall because the network effects haven't been able to be in place. But given what we've built at Zion, it's now possible to have those network effects in place. And we're able to actually understand consumer growth and consumer crypto and be able to finally understand what that means outside of a crypto denominated conversation.
Awesome. Thank you. So, and a little bit more about regulation. So, since I have this chance to ask someone and who's ready to answer, so could you tell us what is the biggest regulatory hurdle Zeon has faced to date?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say the lack of clarity was a hurdle, right? And we've been building for about 4 years and been through a bunch of lawyers and there was, things in 2021, legal advice in 2021 is now taboo now. And it's just been a lot of guesswork. And I'm very, very, very excited to, not have that guesswork. And I think the amount of times that we've been debanked or like kicked out of the bank that we were using, it's really annoying. And trying to build the next financial future and then being kicked out of the bank that you're using, there's a brutal irony to that. And we're really excited to just be able to bank for like now.
Okay, and so about the new financial future. So the next question is actually kind of about it. So uh, for the mass adoption, I would say is the next big thing everyone is thinking after regulation. So in your opinion, how far along is the Web3 industry on the road to overcome all the crypto adoption challenges? So how far that future is, and
I I don't I don't think that future is that far away. I think really we're going to be seeing this for, you know, we've been doing this since 2009. And the definition of crypto has really, really grown, right, from that. And I think you see it in mostly in changing definitions, where in 2009, crypto was Bitcoin, right? And then you got kind of more, and the definitions grew from crypto to DeFi to NFT to desocial. And I think, we do have a long journey, but it's very similar to the internet where there's no finish line. There's always going to be more. I think that you're going to see milestones. You're going to see more hurdles that we don't know about yet. But I think that we've obviously come very far and we're starting to see the road to adoption. And I think this year and next year really are going to be the most crucial years where we're going to overcome a lot of these adoption challenges. And not to say that it's going to be with Zion, but yeah, no, it's going to be with Zion. We have the tools to make it necessary for a frictionless user experience to reach the network effects that you need to do. And we're already working with amazing Web2 partners such as Uber. And to say that like I believe that this will be the year for that, I don't think is untrue.
well, this year and next year. So keeping an eye on it. And actually,
Yes.
the industry is evolving almost every day. So yeah,
Yes.
staying tuned. Okay, and could you share your vision of where the crypto market is heading to? So you see the regulation is coming closer, the mass adoption is going on. So the institutional investors are getting more instruments and more ways to get on board in this crypto game. So do you think we're in for another bear market where they will have a chance to accumulate more profit, or the bull market is still on our doorstep?
I think we're in a bear market right now. But I think in a way it's a time for accumulation because what you're getting right now is you have the ETF, you have all these regulatory things, but you don't really have any new innovation. Um, and I think that that's where you see this huge Bitcoin dominance and then this altcoin kind of lacking is there hasn't been too much innovation recently. And I think the way that we look at things is like for a lot of alts that are doing real things, everyone's paying attention to Bitcoin right now. It's very reminiscent of like 2021, where Bitcoin's kind of getting the attention. It's getting that regulatory eye. But then people are going to start looking at like Zion, for instance. And it's like, wow, okay, 100,000 daily active users, Uber, all of these things. And being able to work with something like an Anchorage for institutional adoption, which hasn't really been able to be done yet, right? I think that you're seeing the accumulation now of these kind of altcoins, and then blink of an eye, it's just going to change, and then we're gonna say, oh, we're in a bull market now.
Well, very interesting idea. Thank you for that, and pretty confident. So actually, you see, it was that fast. So I thought we had a bunch of questions, and you just shut them all. So actually, we came to the last part of our podcast, the traditional one, and you have, I would say, a pretty interesting you have a pretty interesting time to come up with it. So as we know, the market right now, it might be bullish for someone or bearish for others. According to the fear and greed index, we are kind of at the panic level. So some politicians are launching their meme coins, some are advertising some
Yep.
raffles. So a very interesting time. And of course, we're not asking for some financial advice, but I believe that for the majority of our viewers, it will be very interesting to have some piece of advice for these turbulent times. So what do you think people should have in their mind right now? What is available to follow? Just anything you could share. So please go ahead.
Oh, wow. I mean, a lot, I would say. I would say the most important thing is to look at the projects actually doing things. You see a lot who make promises. You see a lot who, have maybe fancy Twitters. Um, but really, I think right now being a bear market and, you look at how the cycle typically works, and it's bull, bear, buildle, hodl. But it's now build time, which is awesome. And so look for the projects that are building and look for the projects that are announcing stats, right? Look for the ecosystem projects that are announcing that they're deploying or things that are happening there. You know, look for the real things. And I think once you see that, eventually, there's going to be short-term volatility in all of these things, and some people are going to be louder than others. But you look at how the history of everything has shaken out, it's always the people who are in the office every day, who continue working, who will make it through. And I think that it's a very amazing and exciting industry, but look for longevity because that'll always survive.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And it's a sounds like a great piece of advice. So guys, keep an eye on the projects which actually do things. And of course, for this purpose, subscribe for Zion's network, socials, and follow Burn Banksy. And
Yep.
for today, that's it. It was a very pleasant discussion, although it was very fast, but
Efficient. We're efficient.
yeah, you see, you're in the office, so not distracting you too much from your work. Yeah, and I believe that it was just an introductory one. So I do hope to see you, Anthony,
I'm
in more
excited for
episodes.
more.
Yeah, sure. So next time, I think we'll prepare like 20, 30, 50 questions, something like this. So
Beautiful, which is rapid fire.
yeah, so maybe we'll make some blitz parts. So, and for today, yeah, once again, that was it. Thank you very much for joining in, for your time, and best of luck for you, and have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing being on, and I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, and of course, thanks for our audience for watching till the end. So, guys, stay tuned, listen to advices after our guests, and yeah, we'll meet you in more episodes. Bye bye.